Hello and welcome to Ask Dr. Love. Today's podcast is what is Qigong in relationship to yoga? So yoga is something written by Patanjali in the 5th century, and he is the final word. He's the expert on what is yoga. And he came up with the Ashtanga, or the 8 limbs of yoga. Pranayama is one of the 8 limbs, and pranayama is breathing exercise. Qigong is also breathing exercise because Qi means breath, and prana is Qi. Now, what is asana? Asana is the posture that is held in order to generate internal energy. Qigong is also a posture. It's a moving posture that's also held to generate energy. So the asana and the Qigong is the same. Now the pranayama is done in between. So I'm just talking until I get everybody in the room, and now I can introduce Ask Dr. Love. This is the podcast where you get to ask any questions at all about Asian medicine, about acupuncture, about herbal medicine, and your health. If love is the answer, what is your question? Ask Dr. Love is heard daily on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, Radio Play, Spotify. You can get any of my podcasts there. If you want to look at any of the archive show, you can go to anchor.fm/AskDrLove. If you want to tell your friends about it, tell them, hey Siri, play Ask Dr. Love podcast. You want to tell them, hey Google, play Ask Dr. Love podcast. Or you can say, hey Alexa, play Ask Dr. Love podcast, and it'll tune in to the latest episode. So today's episode is what is Qigong in relationship to yoga? Because people call me all the time and they say, I really want to study Qigong with you, but I'm going to take this yoga teacher training course first. And then I say, okay, do that. And then they come back to me and they say, well, I'm not really doing the yoga, so maybe I'm not going to do the Qigong either. And I'm saying, is yoga fun? Do you feel joyful? Do you feel playful? Do you laugh during and after you finish yoga? No? Well, then you need to do Qigong, because Qigong makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good about what you are doing. Qigong is a moving meditation. So we have a ball of Qi, and you can generate your ball of Qi just by rubbing your hands together, and then you can feel energy. In fact, why don't you try that yourself? Rub your hands together, generate some Qi. Yeah, you can feel that. You can feel that. And then move it around like a ball. So there's 3 treasures in Qigong. So there's the treasure of Jing, that's your essence or your hormones. There's the treasure of Qi, which is true Qi that circulates through your meridians. And then there's the treasure of Shen, which is mental intention, focus on will. And so the 3 treasures is the union of mind and body, which in yoga they call samadhi. Now, there's 6 yogas of the blue dragon, because I want you to be aware that there's 8 parts of yoga, and within Hatha Yoga, there are 6 parts. But in the Blue Dragon system, there are 6 yogas. So the first yoga is called Love Yoga, which is the yoga of devotion to self and community. That means that the Blue Dragon tribe is not just doing exercise. That means the Blue Dragon tribe is being cheerful and helpful. And then the second yoga is Knowledge Yoga, which is the study of Vajra, V-A-J-R-A, Vajra, which means diamond essence. So the diamond mind is the brilliant shining light within the body. It takes a lot of heat and pressure to turn coal into a diamond. And that's what we call Knowledge Yoga. So you have to study yourself in order so that you can help others. The third yoga is called Action Yoga, and that's the yoga of daily commitment. And I say all the time, you need a consistent daily practice of the Blue Dragon Qigong in order to cultivate the essence, in order to build and store the Qi, and in order to create the intention, focus, and will. And that's your Vajra. In the Hindu system, it's the Shen radiance of the Qigong system. The fourth yoga is called Thai Yoga. And Thai Yoga is the dances that we do every morning in Boost Your Immune Qigong. There are 18 dances in the Thai Yoga system. And we learn 9 the first 2 weeks, and then we learn the second 9 the next 2 weeks, and then over the next 8 weeks, we practice the 18 exercises over 8 weeks. And then at the end of 12 weeks, you are going to take a video of yourself and you're going to send it in. And you will get a certificate that you have achieved Thai Yoga certification. Now, if you want to teach, there's a different certification. But if you complete the 12 weeks of the Boost Your Immune Qigong online, you'll get a certificate of completion of Thai Yoga. And that's what we call the Taoist Yoga. Then, the 5th yoga is the yoga of purification. That's the yoga of cleansing the internal organs. And in our system, it's the 21-day program. So if you go to 21daystowellness.com, that's the numerals 21, daystowellness.com, then you'll be able to see the program laid out for you so that you can purify your body, your mind, and your spirit. And you can purify your internal organs. And that's when we do the body drumming that also purifies. So if you have any questions, then you should put in the comments what your question is about what is Qigong in relationship to yoga. The 6th yoga is the Tumo Yoga, or the yoga of rising dragon fire. Now, we've got digestive fire, we've got kidney fire, we've got heart fire. So, Tumo is the yoga of generating the heat that rises, that allows you to become the dragon. So that's the last yoga, and that is a 1-year training program just to learn the Tumo. So the 6 yogas of Blue Dragon, we'll put that down in the comments so you'll be able to get that. And we obviously have a training program for all of the yogas. The love yoga, the knowledge yoga, the action yoga, the Thai yoga, which we're already doing the certification course, the purification, the 21 days of wellness, we're already doing that. And then the Dumo, to generate internal heat. And that is the one that Deja is going to be teaching a year from now. Right, Deja?
Right.
So, if you have any questions at all about yoga and Qigong, about the asanas, about the postures, about moving meditation, because I could go on and on and on about the 8 moving meditations that we teach in the Blue Dragon system, and how we pull it in and then take it up and then push it out, and you breathe in and then you push it out and then you breathe out, and so you have a ball of chi that literally merges with your body, and then when you pull it up, then you pop the ball of chi out of your body and then bring it down. So there's a lot going on with moving meditation, and then we pull it into the knee, the hip, and the shoulder, like doing a basketball jump shot. All very slow moving, but breathing out and then breathing in. All this is moving yoga. And then we can alternate on different sides. And then we can coordinate with the knee, and then we can pick it up. And we can move our legs with the moving yoga. So there's a lot going on with just moving yoga. So do we have any questions?
No questions.
No questions. Okay, so the thing that I'm most excited about is teaching the 3 treasures, which in yoga is called samadhi. So samadhi is the union. So we have the digestive and reproductive system. We have the circulatory and the respiratory system. We have the neuroendocrine system and the musculoskeletal system. So we have 6 systems within the 3 treasures. And so when we reach samadhi, we are totally blissed out, because everything is connected and everything is flowing. So bhakti yoga is love yoga. That's the yoga of devotion. Jnana yoga is knowledge yoga. Raja yoga is action yoga. And so you can study these all separately, or you can study them together. It all depends on how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. It's all about moving the energy through your body. It's all about the breath. It's all about the mind. It's all about the intention and the focus. This is what is yoga. It's not just the posture. It's not just the breath. Sitting in the posture is to build up the strength of the body so that you can sit in meditation longer. And that is the purpose of samadhi, is to create the bliss of the union of the 3 treasures. And in order to do that, you've got to practice devotional yoga. You have to be devoted to study of self, and then devoted to study of your community where you are most needed. There are tons of yoga teachers that have completed yoga teacher training, but you never hear of a yoga teacher volunteering to help the elderly, volunteering to help the kids. Yoga is not really a way to make money in India. In India, the point of yoga is what they do in the temples with the priests. Only the priests practice and teach Qigong. It's not for the village people. But in the United States, we've so focused on the physical exercise aspect that we have completely lost the true understanding of what is yoga. So I'm here to show you that Qigong is Taoist yoga. Qigong is the true yoga that got lost, and that you don't have to decide if I want to do yoga or if I want to do Qigong. If you do the Qigong, you are doing yoga. And that is today's message. So I would love it if there were a yoga teacher like Amanda or Carly Jane, who are really close friends of mine, to chime in here, or Barbara, or Lester, or Marcus, who are all yoga teacher friends of mine. I got a ton of friends that are yoga teachers, and I would love to hear them chime in or comment, or we could do another episode where we bring these other yoga teachers on. In fact, we've got a yoga teacher in the studio, and I asked her if she wanted to be in the podcast. She said, "Not today, not today." So we're going to get her in the podcast because she does Egyptian yoga. Now, Egyptian yoga is also a moving yoga. It's moving from posture to posture. And that is what is so fascinating, because my friend, Dr. Asar Hapi, who is a yoga teacher, who went to Egypt 30 years ago, and he started copying what he saw the yoga postures on the walls of the temple. And then he began to imagine how you get from posture A to posture B to posture C. And he came up with a whole sequence of moving yoga. Now, I studied Egyptian dance. Specifically, I became a priest of Imhotep, which is the ancient Egyptian god of medicine. I became a priest so that I could find out about the other priesthoods. And I found out there was a priesthood of music and dance. And that set my brain on fire. There's a priesthood of dance? Wow! Then that must mean that dance is a connection of the human to the divine. And lo and behold, as I continued to buy books and study, I began to realize that was exactly what it is. And there's also a priesthood of music, because music is also divine. And they play bells and strings, which open up the 6th and 7th chakra. And then they sing, and they play flutes, which opens up the 4th and 5th chakra. And then they play drums and rattles and shakers, which open up the first 3 chakras. So between the percussion, the singing, the woodwinds, the lyres, the flutes, the bells, all open up 7 chakras. There's a divine connection to music. And there is the yoga of music. There's yoga of dance. And this is all ancient Egyptian knowledge. And this is something we know nothing about unless you're intellectually curious to go and find out. And it's not written in English. It's written in French and German and Italian. And then I had to get it translated. And then I had to study it. I had to sit with it. And I had to practice it until I could tease out the information and make it accessible to you. Because the Egyptian yoga focuses on the mind. The Egyptian yoga is using the body to raise consciousness, to be in alignment with divine energy. Do you want to connect to the divine, or do you want to connect to the human animal? your choice. It's totally up to you. So, I would love to answer any questions you have about dance or music in terms of aligning with the divine. I would love to answer any questions you have. If you are a dance teacher, an African dance teacher, or any other kind of dance teacher, I would love to show you how your movements actually heal muscles, meridians, organs, and emotional states. This is all available, but we don't use it. We don't do enough to tap in to the energy that is already existing, doom, 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 in our heart rhythm. We don't know enough to tap into the breath work. So the breath has a rhythm, the lungs have a rhythm. Doom, 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 doom. And if we can be silent enough, if we can be still enough, we can tap in to the natural rhythm of the universe. We can tap into the music of the spheres. Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, Moon. We can tap into that energy. We can tap into Alpha Centauri, whose density is 250 times greater than our own sun. And in a full moon, we think it is our sun that is reflecting off of the moon. But it is Alpha Centauri, magnified 250 times, that comes into the full moon, that taps into the pineal gland, which is our connection to divine source. So when you dance around a bonfire at midnight on the full moon, that's when you are God connected. You are God sourced. You are God directed. You are guide. You have received the guidance of God. Guidance of the divine. So, what is Qigong? It's the connection to divine source. What is yoga? Yoga benefit is samadhi, which is divine connection. So, I love it when there are no questions, because that means I did a really good job of explaining things. So, Deja, we have no questions?
No questions.
That's amazing. That's totally amazing. So, I appreciate you all. Love you. I appreciate love you, not appreciate hate you. I appreciate love you for watching and listening, because this is a podcast after all. So we're going to do a couple of more shows on yoga, Deja.
I look forward.
So, and I would love to get into the whole ancient Egyptian mystery system of Egyptian mind science. So, I'm going to do some podcasts with Deja as my co-host. Right, Deja?
Yes.
So, if you have any questions, or you want to learn more about ancient Egyptian yoga, ancient Egyptian meditation, ancient Egyptian mind science, ancient Egyptian spiritual alchemy, if you want to learn more, just comment, I want to learn more. Because we've got a lot of information about how ancient Egyptian medicine spread through Persia, Greece, Rome, Afghanistan, and Tibet, and how the Tibetan medicine reconglomerated all of the ancient medicines into one system. So if you are interested in ancient Egyptian medicine, it is currently modern Tibetan medicine. And then from Tibet, it spread from India and China, and from India and China, it spread to the Caribbean, and then from the Caribbean, it spread to South Florida. So if you're looking for ancient Egyptian medicine, if you're looking for the ancient healing practices, they are currently called holistic healing practices because they all originated in ancient Egypt. So aromatherapy, massage therapy, hydrotherapy, scarification, sleepitation, which was the ancient Egyptian method of giving herbal drinks that would put you into a trance so that you could be diagnosed. Fasting, colon hydrotherapy, all these can be traced back to ancient Egypt. The holistic practices all originated in ancient Egypt and came to the Caribbean from India and China. And now we have them available for you in Florida. And we also have a menu of services. So anything that you want to know, I am happy to share with you the answers. So with no further questions,
Nope.
I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, your health is in your hands. And prevention is the only cure. And in order to be well, you've got to chi well. Until tomorrow. Oh, there's a last question.
Yes. Peggy says, Dr. Love, with this COVID-19 out, my husband has been very stressed. Is that good for that?
Is what good for that? What is good for COVID-19? Is Qigong good for COVID-19? Absolutely. Is stress good for COVID-19? No. Can you de-stress in order to reduce your susceptibility? Yes. How do you do that? With Qigong and Qi dance. I hope I gave you an answer. So if you want to help your husband, tell your husband to register at loveqigong.com, because to boost your immune system, the first 3 exercises that we teach builds your immune system. So register at loveqigong.com. Until June 30th, the morning online Qigong class is only $25 a month. July 1st is going to double. Whatever price you pay, you're locked in at that price. Your price will never go up. So if you have anybody you care about, tell them to register now. So, I hate to say goodbye twice, but until tomorrow, I'm Dr. George Xavier Love for